New York Giants all-time top 10 players. Who's the greatest New York Giant of all time? That question has been debated in every bar from Manhattan to New Jersey, and we're about to rank the top 10 legends who built this storied franchise. When viewers see this, they're asking, does Lawrence Taylor run away with it? Where does Eli Manning rank? Did the old school champions make the cut? Here's the truth. These 10 players didn't just wear blue, they defined what it means to be a Giant, delivered championships, and created moments that echo through generations. This isn't just a ranking, this is the definitive list of the greatest players in franchise history. Number 10. Phil Simms, the quarterback who delivered the Giants' first Super Bowl championship. 2 Pro Bowl selections, Super Bowl 21 champion and MVP. 33,462 passing yards and 199 touchdowns with New York. Simms played 14 seasons with the Giants from 1979 to 1993, starting 164 games. His Super Bowl 21 performance is still the greatest quarterback performance in championship history. 22 of 25 passing, 88%, 268 yards, 3 touchdowns. That 88% completion percentage is the highest in Super Bowl history. Simms was absolutely perfect when it mattered most. He led the Giants to their first Super Bowl in franchise history, defeating Denver 39-20 in January 1987. Simms was tough, durable, and delivered in big moments despite playing on mediocre teams early in his career. The Giants inducted him into their Ring of Honor, cementing his legacy as one of the franchise's all-time greats. But delivering 1 Super Bowl is impressive. What if you were so durable that you played 15 seasons and made the Pro Bowl 8 straight times? Number 9. Odell Beckham Jr. Odell Beckham Jr., the most electrifying receiver in Giants history. 3 Pro Bowl selections, 2 second-team All-Pro honors, 5,476 receiving yards, and 44 touchdowns in 5 seasons with New York. Beckham had one of the greatest rookie seasons ever in 2014, 91 catches for 1,305 yards and 12 touchdowns in just 12 games. He averaged 108.8 receiving yards per game in his rookie season, the highest average ever by a rookie in NFL history. Then came the catch. November 23, 2014, Sunday Night Football against Dallas. The one-handed grab while falling backwards with pass interference that defied physics and became the most iconic catch in NFL history. Beckham made the Pro Bowl in his first 3 seasons and was one of the most dynamic playmakers in football. At just 25 years old, the Giants traded him to Cleveland, ending his time in New York too soon. His peak was short but spectacular. 5 seasons of absolute dominance that Giants fans will never forget. Speaking of legends who dominated for longer, our next player defined toughness in the 1980s. Number 8. Harry Carson, the heart of the Big Blue Wrecking Crew defense. 9 Pro Bowl selections, 2 Super Bowl championships, 21 and 25. 1,092 tackles in 13 seasons. Carson played from 1976 to 1988, anchoring the Giants' middle linebacker position for over a decade. He was the leader of the Crunch Bunch, one of the greatest linebacker corps ever, with Carson, Brad Van Pelt, Brian Kelly, and later Lawrence Taylor. Carson was known for starting the Gatorade shower tradition. He dumped the cooler on Bill Parcells after victories. He recorded 11 interceptions and 14 fumble recoveries, showing his playmaking ability. Carson was the emotional leader of 2 championship teams and made everyone around him better. He waited 17 years to make the Hall of Fame, finally getting inducted in 2006. That wait was unjustified. The Giants inducted him into their Ring of Honor, and he's considered one of the greatest linebackers of the 1970s and 80s. But being the heart of a defense is impressive. What if you could play every position in the backfield and win MVP? Number 7. Frank Gifford, the most versatile player in Giants history. 8 Pro Bowl selections, 6 All-Pro honors, 1956 MVP, NFL champion in 1956. Gifford played running back, wide receiver, and defensive back in his 12-year career from 1952 to 1964. He rushed for 3,609 yards and 34 touchdowns, while also catching 367 passes for 5,434 yards and 43 touchdowns. Gifford even threw 14 touchdown passes, the most by any non-quarterback in NFL history. His 1956 MVP season saw him lead the Giants to the NFL championship. He was the best player in football that year. Gifford retired after a brutal hit by Chuck Bednarik in 1960, then came back in 1962 and played 3 more seasons as a receiver. After football, he became a legendary broadcaster on Monday Night Football for 27 years. The Giants retired his number 16 jersey, and he made the Hall of Fame in 1977. Speaking of legends who changed the game, our top 6 all delivered championships while redefining their positions. Number 6, Rosie Brown, the greatest offensive tackle in Giants history. 9 Pro Bowl selections, 8 first-team All-Pro honors, NFL champion in 1956. Brown played 13 seasons with the Giants from 1953 to 1965, starting 162 of 166 games. At 6'3" and 255 pounds, Brown was quick, powerful, and technically perfect. He redefined offensive tackle play. He protected Charlie Connerly and Y.A. Tittle while also paving the way for Frank Gifford's MVP season. Brown was one of the first African-American offensive linemen to become a Hall of Famer. He made the Hall of Fame in 1975 and was named to multiple all-time teams. The Giants inducted him into their Ring of Honor, and he remains the standard for offensive line excellence. But protecting quarterbacks is crucial. What about the quarterback who delivered 2 championships in the most unlikely fashion? Number 5. Eli Manning, the most clutch quarterback in Giants history. 4 Pro Bowl selections, 57,023 passing yards, 366 touchdowns in 16 seasons, 2 Super Bowl championships, and 2 Super Bowl MVPs. Manning holds every major passing record in Giants history by massive margins. His 57,023 passing yards are nearly 24,000 more than second place. That's an entire career ahead of everyone else. Manning started 210 consecutive games from 2004 to 2017, showing incredible durability. But the stats don't tell Manning's story. 2 Super Bowl victories over undefeated and favored Patriots teams do. Super Bowl 42, the helmet catch to David Tyree. Manning escapes a sack, throws 32 yards, and Tyree catches it with his helmet. Giants win 17-14. Super Bowl 46, the sideline throw to Mario Manningham. Perfect pass, perfect catch, Giants win another championship. Manning won Walter Payton Man of the Year in 2016 and had his number 10 jersey retired. He's not in the Hall of Fame yet, but he will be. 2 Super Bowl MVPs guarantee it. Manning proved that clutch performance matters more than regular season statistics. Speaking of clutch performances, our top 4 delivered championships while dominating their positions at historic levels. Number 4, Michael Strahan, the most complete defensive end in Giants history. 7 Pro Bowl selections, 4 first-team All-Pro honors, 141.5 sacks, Super Bowl 42 champion, Defensive Player of the Year in 2001. Strahan set the NFL single-season sack record with 22.5 in 2001. That record still stands today. He led the NFL in sacks twice, 2001 and 2003, and had 6 seasons with 11 or more sacks. Strahan recorded 666 solo tackles, 131 tackles for loss, and 24 forced fumbles in his career. He played 15 seasons from 1993 to 2007, all with the Giants. That loyalty is rare in modern football. In Super Bowl 42, Strahan had 1 sack and helped the Giants upset the 18-0 Patriots. He made the Hall of Fame in 2014 on his first ballot and became a successful television personality after retirement. Strahan's number 92 jersey is retired, and he's second in franchise history with 141.5 sacks, just a half sack behind the all-time leader. But being a half sack behind the all-time leader means someone else dominated even more. Our top 3 are the undisputed greatest Giants ever. Number 3, Andy Robustelli, the defensive end who won championships and coached simultaneously. 7 Pro Bowl selections, 6 first-team All-Pro honors, NFL champion in 1956. Robustelli joined the Giants in 1956 and immediately won a championship in a 47-7 victory over Chicago. He played 9 seasons with New York from 1956 to 1964 after spending 5 years with the Rams. Robustelli averaged 14 sacks per season from 1961 to 63 while serving as defensive coordinator. He played and coached at the same time. He missed just 1 game in his entire career, and that came in his rookie season. Robustelli made the Hall of Fame in 1971 and later served as the Giants general manager from 1974 to 1978. His versatility in playing, coaching, and managing makes him one of the most important figures in franchise history. But being important to the franchise is one thing. Being the greatest defensive player ever? That's what separates the top 2. Number 2, Emlyn Tunnell, the first African American inducted into the Pro Football Hall of Fame, 9 Pro Bowl selections, 4 first-team All-Pro honors, 2 NFL championships, 1956 and 1958. Tennell played 11 seasons with the Giants from 1948 to 1958, recording 74 interceptions in his career, 79 total. His 74 interceptions with the Giants remain a franchise record that will probably never be broken. Tennell returned 4 interceptions, 4 touchdowns, and had 2,209 return yards in his career. He was a cornerback and safety who revolutionized defensive back play with his ball-hawking ability. Tennell made the Hall of Fame in 1967, the first African-American player ever inducted. He was named to the NFL's 75th and 100th anniversary all-time teams. The Giants inducted him into their Ring of Honor, and his legacy as a pioneer is secure. But even Tennell's historic career doesn't match the greatest defensive player in NFL history. Number 1. Lawrence Taylor, LT, the greatest New York Giant of all time, the greatest defensive player in NFL history. 10 Pro Bowl selections, 8 first-team All-Pro honors, 3 Defensive Player of the Year awards, NFL MVP in 1986, 2 Super Bowl championships, 21 and 25, 142 career sacks, the franchise record. He also recorded 1,088 tackles in 13 seasons. Taylor won Defensive Rookie of the Year and Defensive Player of the Year in 1981, the only player ever to win both in the same season. He won Defensive Player of the Year again in 1982, and then won both Defensive Player of the Year and MVP in 1986 with 20.5 sacks. Taylor is the last defensive player to win MVP. That was 39 years ago, and nobody has matched it since. He revolutionized the outside linebacker position from read and react to attack mode. Every modern pass rusher owes something to LT. Offensive coordinators had to redesign their blocking schemes just to account for Taylor. One player changed how offenses operated league-wide. Taylor's intensity, speed, and instincts made him unblockable. He destroyed quarterbacks, running backs, and offenses. The Giants went from 18 years without playoffs to immediate contenders the moment Taylor arrived in 1981. He made the Hall of Fame in 1999 on his first ballot and was named to every major all-time team. His number 56 jersey is retired, and there will never be another player like Lawrence Taylor. Off-field issues complicated his legacy, but on the field, Taylor was perfection, pure dominance that nobody has matched. Lawrence Taylor is the greatest New York Giant of all time. No debate. No one else changed the game like LT did. The GOAT debate. Why is Lawrence Taylor number 1 over Eli Manning and Michael Strahan? Impact. Taylor changed how football is played. Offenses redesigned their schemes because of one player. That's unprecedented influence. Dominance. Taylor won 3 Defensive Player of the Year awards and the NFL MVP. He was the best player in football multiple times. Championships. Taylor delivered 2 Super Bowl wins while being the best player on both teams. The argument for Eli Manning is 2 Super Bowl MVPs over the Patriots. Those championship moments are legendary. But Manning's regular season record was 117 and 117. Taylor made the Giants contenders every single year he played. The argument for Michael Strahan is 141.5 sacks and being the most complete defensive end ever. But Strahan was just a half sack behind Taylor despite playing 2 more seasons. Taylor's peak was higher. Emlen Tennell was a Hall of Fame pioneer with 74 interceptions. Andy Robustelli won championships while playing and coaching simultaneously. Frank Gifford won MVP playing multiple positions. Harry Carson was the heart of 2 championship defenses. Rosie Brown was the greatest offensive tackle in franchise history. Odell Beckham Jr. made the catch and had 3 straight Pro Bowl seasons. Phil Simms delivered the first Super Bowl with a perfect performance.
New York Giants first-round selection. Quarterback Phil Simms, Morehead State.
Taylor's combination of dominance, impact, and championships separates him from everyone else. Why these 10? Why these 10 Giants over everyone else? Justin Tuck had 2 Super Bowl rings, but he doesn't match Strahan or Taylor's dominance. Amani Toomer is the franchise's all-time leading receiver, but he never dominated like modern receivers. Carl Banks was great, but played in Taylor's shadow. Y.A. Tittle had great seasons, but only played 4 years with New York. Rodney Hampton rushed for over 6,000 yards, but wasn't elite enough for the top 10. Tiki Barber is the franchise's leading rusher, but he never won a championship. O.C. Amenyora had 75 sacks, but can't match the top defensive lineman. Mel Hayne was a Hall of Fame center who played both ways in the 1930s and 40s, but modern impact players edge him out. These 10 players combined championships, individual dominance, and franchise-defining impact. Lawrence Taylor is the greatest defensive player ever. Emlyn Tunnell was a Hall of Fame pioneer. Michael Strahan set the single-season sack record. Eli Manning delivered 2 Super Bowl MVPs. Rosie Brown was the greatest offensive tackle ever. Frank Gifford won MVP playing multiple positions. Harry Carson led 2 championship defenses. Odell Beckham Jr. made the catch and revolutionized highlight reel plays. Andy Robustelli won championships as a player coach. Phil Simms delivered the first Super Bowl with perfection. The evolution of the Giants. Looking at this list shows how the Giants franchise evolved. Phil Simms delivered the first Super Bowl in 1987. Emlyn Tunnell broke barriers in the 1950s as the first African-American Hall of Famer. Frank Gifford and Rosie Brown won the 1956 championship. Andy Robustelli continued his success into the 1960s. Harry Carson led the defense in the 1970s and 80s. Lawrence Taylor transformed the franchise in the 1980s and 90s with 2 Super Bowls. Michael Strahan dominated the 1990s through the 2000s. Eli Manning delivered 2 miraculous Super Bowl victories in 2008 and 2012. Odell Beckham Jr. brought excitement and highlight reel plays in the 2010s. The Giants have always been about tough defense and timely offense. These 10 players embody that philosophy better than anyone in franchise history. These 10 players represent the absolute peak of Giants football. They won championships, dominated their positions, and created the legacy that defines the franchise. Debates about rankings will never end. Giants fans will always argue about placement and snubs. That's what makes these conversations great. There's no perfect answer. But if you're starting a franchise and need one player to build around, Lawrence Taylor is the answer. His dominance, his impact, his championships. Nobody in Giants history comes close. Thanks for watching this journey through Giants history. Hit subscribe for more content celebrating NFL legends. And remember, Big Blue has always been about defense, championships, and refusing to quit. That's what these 10 players showed us. Go Giants!